So my guess is number 1 and number 2 are going to be the hardest for you on this test. Not that they're hard, we just have to process through how to do them. So make sure you are paying close attention for sure on numbers 1 and 2. Okay, number 1. What are you asked to find? Radius. So first things first, make sure you know what you're looking for. You are looking for the radius. And it gives you the circumference. So I know C equals 15.7. That is the only information that I know right now. But in order to find the radius, I can replace C with what? 2 pi r, because this is my circumference formula. So 2 pi r equals 15.7. And how do I get r by itself? Divide by 2 pi. R equals, I think it's 2.5. Divided by 2.5. Yeah. So you're rounding to the nearest tenth. I will make sure the directions on the test are clear on what to round to, but you're going to round to the nearest tenth. That is all you have to do because it only asks for the radius. It didn't ask for anything else. Okay? If you go further and you don't follow directions, I will take off points. So make sure you're reading the directions. Because you're getting a bonus tomorrow, I'm going to be a little more strict. Okay. Number 2, a circle has an area. So I know the area is 314.2. What is the circumference? So I want to know the 2 pi r. In order to figure out 2 pi r, what do I have to find? The radius. So I'm going to replace A with the area formula. Which one's the area formula?
Pi r squared.
Pi r squared. So this is my A. So pi r squared equals 314.2. I'm going to divide through by pi first. So 314.2 divided by pi is 100. R squared equals 100. And then when I take the square root, r equals 10. The question wants the circumference though. So if I plug 10 back in up here, your answer should be 20 pi miles. Okay. I'm going to check, but I'm pretty sure. Okay. Literally, number 1 and 2 on the test are those exact 2 questions with different numbers. But the first one asks for the radius, the second one wants to know the circumference. So it's the same process. Okay? Now, for this next set, you're using this picture for problems 3 through 7. It was a question I answered quite a few times yesterday. So this picture for 3 through 7, where 6 is your radius, 85 is your angle, which means this arc is also 85. Right? Now, here you have to make sure you read the questions. What is the circumference of the circle? So circumference is 2 pi r. What is r? 6. So my circumference is 12 pi meters. That's all you have to do for that one. What is the length of arc zy? What is it asking for? What is it called? The arc length. Which one of these formulas is arc length? This one right here, right? So this is arc length. That's what question number 2 or number 4 is asking, arc length. So 85 over 360 times 2 times pi times 6. So 85 divided by 360 times 12 gives you 2.8 pi meters. What is number 5 asking for? The area. We already know the area formula is pi r squared. So area equals pi r squared. My r is 6. So pi times 6 squared is just 36 pi. And what will my units be? Meters squared, because we're talking about area. No, because it's arc length. Remember, it's that outside perimeter. So number 4 is not squared because it's that outside perimeter of my circle. Area is the only one that's squared. If you square it, I will take off a half a point. Yep. So make sure you know the difference between whether it's circumference or area and what your unit should be. Number 6. What is the area of the sector? What is it asking for? Sector area. Which one of these is sector area? This one, right? So this one's sector area. So M is 85 over 360 times 2 times, times pi times r squared. That's an 8. My pen died. So 85 divided by 360 times 36 gives you 8.5 pi, and what are my units? Meters squared. Any questions on 1 through 6 so far? How are we doing so far? Great. Awesome. Okay, number 7 still uses the picture. What is the measure of angle x in radians? So we're converting from degrees to radians. The only formula that's left is this one. So this one's degrees to radians. Okay, so m over 360, my m is 85 over 360 times 2 pi. Now remember, this is the only one that I want you to multiply pi through, so it's plugging everything into your calculator. So 85 divided by 360 literally times 2 pi. Again, we're going to round to the nearest tenth, so you should have gotten 1.5. Are we okay there? Okay. Number 8 asks for the same thing. It just gives you a measurement. So from degrees to radians, 48 over 360 times 2 pi. To the nearest tenth, what did you get? 0.8. Or 0.8 is fine. Still cool? Okay. Here's our clock problem. What is step 1 for a clock problem? Figure out your angle from your minutes, right? So what is the difference in minutes from 7:35 to 7:54? 19 minutes. So 19 over a total of 60 minutes times that 360 gives you your angle. So 19 divided by 60 times 360 is 114 degrees, right? Then what do we do with that? Plug it into which formula? My arc length formula, because remember it's that outside piece I'm looking for. So arc length, so 114 over 360 times 2 pi, and then my r is my minute hand. So 114 divided by 360 times 14. Rounded to the nearest tenth, I get 14.4 pi What are my units? Inches. .4 pi inches. So you figure out the difference of minutes and convert it to a degree, and then plug it into your arc length formula. Number 10 and 11, find the area and circumference and round your answer to the nearest tenth. So area is pi times radius squared, which is just 144 pi. Oh, it is a diameter. Thank you. That should be a 6. So this should be 36 pi. This exact problem? Oh, okay. So 36 pi, and then what are my units? Centimeters squared. And then circumference is just going to be 12 pi, because I can use d times pi. Centimeters. You don't need to round anything because you're not multiplying through by pi. You're leaving just as is. Yeah. Only area is squared. Okay. Number 11, area equals pi times the radius squared. So 5.5 squared is 30.25, so rounded is 30.3 pi meters squared. And my circumference is 2 times pi times r, which is 11 pi meters. Questions on any of those? We're okay? All right. Backside is all arc length and sector area. So arc length, m over 360 times 2 pi r. So 90 divided by 360. That's not right. Divided by 360 times 6. So you should get 1.5 pi miles. The other one is 90 over 360 times pi r squared times 9. You should get 2.3 pi miles squared. Okay, I do expect to see these equations because there is zero work for you to do once you use your calculator. I want to see what's being plugged into your calculator. Okay, arc length on this one is 60 over 360 times 2 times pi times 6. So you should have gotten 2 pi meters. And then 60 over 360 times pi r squared. 6 pi meters squared. And then our last one, we're doing this whole section here, the darker section. So 300 over 360 times 2 pi r. .3 pi kilometers. And 300 over 360 times pi r squared. 20.8 pi kilometers squared. How'd we do? Good? Did a handful of us get 100%? Can I see who got 100%? Raise your hand. Do you see where you messed up if you messed up? Was it something silly? What was it? Just so I have an idea. The pi, you forgot pi? You will have pi in every single answer except numbers 1, 7, and 8. Okay, so pi should be literally in almost every single answer.